So, I'm Shazzy, and today I'm gonna review Vylet Pony's album, CUTIEMARKS and the Things That Bind Us. Yeah, I've been aware of her music for quite a while, but only started following her at the time this album was releasing the singles. And from the tunes that released previously as singles, they were good, and I was getting more and more and more excited for the whole thing to drop, and it's pretty good. The album starts off with The Things That Bind Us, an ambient piece in which the focus falls on a kind of spoken word by Calamari Spider, talking about cutie marks and how they are a bit confusing. They say, from what I understood, that cutie marks basically define the one big thing you're talented at, or what your purpose is, and how this way cutie marks kind of limit you, since there could be several things you're good at or you like doing. Something like that. Listen to it yourself, because I think Calamari explains it a lot better than I did. Overall, there's not much more to this piece. It's pretty simple, but a good introduction to this album. That kind of thought is translated into the second track, but also into the whole album. But yeah, the second track is CUTIEMARKS, so the title track. I love the vocal samples at the start, of which Brony music has kind of become infamous for, I think, or if I recall correctly. To be fair, I don't listen to that much Brony music, so I could be wrong. The first drop does have charm, but for me falls a bit flat on the production front. Doesn't really have the impact I wanted to have. Later on though, it progresses into like a stuttery beat, and then to almost a trance-like section with some damn fucking beautiful vocals, which I love a lot. And the third track, Bonnie, you can already sense the impressive and well-executed versatility this album has to offer. It is basically some kind of dialogue or conversation between characters Lara and Bonbon, or Bonnie. Lara's part being extremely vibey rock and roll with a stunning vocal performance, and Bonbon's part being a bit more punk rock-ish and a bit more emotional as well. The transition between both parts are amazing. I think it becomes pretty clear that there's two different people talking, or ponies singing in this song. And still, both parts feel like they belong together. It's so well made, and it's definitely one of my favorite songs on here.
I've been trying to escape from the stupid fucking phase I call love. Oh, buddy, won't you show me how to live? I've been under a rock since I was a feeling. Ooh, oh, buddy, do you remember who I am? You picked me up when I was at my lowest. Oh no.
It's so well made. Afterwards, Antonym takes you straight back to the 2010s with ease, with a bouncy, incredibly fun and carefree dance pop number. It includes a lot of nostalgic memes, sounds, MLP references, while giving the message that do what you want to do and what you like, and don't give the people berating you for it any attention, because it's not their lives. It's also pretty obvious that this album has quite a few hyperpop influences, which becomes fairly obvious in the previous tune, Non-Existent Meet Cute, and but especially in Lesbian Ponies with Weapons. This song is partly pretty stereotypically hyperpop, with the high BPM beat and pitched up vocals, and for some part darker vocals. It's also a song that just says, fuck everything, we do what we want to do and won't be stopped. And it's a very fun song. It's not one of my favorites on here, which is honestly a bit surprising considering how much I love hyperpop. But it's, don't get me wrong, it's still a really fun song. It's really cool. I think Vylet's production on EDM probably shines the most at around Syndicate and a few other songs in here. I fucking love the intimidating mood. Indicating Rarity's darker side coming to the front. The drops are really fucking intricate and push the intimidating mood further with gritty basses and trap melodies in between. I just can't stress enough how well the dark mood is conveyed in here. It's so fucking good. Second drop too, the D&B switch is amazing. A lot more in your face and just really chaotic, but still controlled.
In the syndicate, when you sell your soul to the syndicate.
So dark, gritty. Wayfarer pulls the mood back up again, but the lyrics still aren't that bright. From what I understand, Pony Sunburst attended to a magic school after he received his cutie mark, to which Starlight reacted very sad afterwards. She creates a cult of ponies who live without cutie marks after she learns the spell to remove them. Make of that what you want, because I'm actually not that sure of who's singing in this instance. I think it's a pleasant sounding song. Vocals has almost always been great, but the choruses and drops, they aren't really for me. I can listen to them, no question, they're neat, but they're not really the kind of drops to which I'll come back to. I think, but still, I think the storytelling is good, and if the breaks and rock and pop influence drops are for you, you're most likely gonna love this. Just give it a listen. It's good. Objectively, just not that much for me. The 8th track, I Don't Need to Be Fixed, is also a very pleasant song about neurodivergent love and how love is pretty confusing. True. The tune features synth pop breakbeat and has a bit of a Dulcich Porter vibe section. I think all parts are stringed together beautifully. The song flows well. It's overall just such a pleasure to listen to. Then Protagonist Syndrome is a song I would not have expected to be one of my favorites on here. Protagonist Syndrome entails the state of mind where you want to try and help someone you care about or be empathetic, but you find it all the more difficult because of the things you're dealing with on your own. Oftentimes things you don't tell anyone about. And this instance, character Gilda is a good example of that. Protagonist Syndrome might just have the weirdest but at the same fucking vibes drop on the whole project. Dancehall usually really ain't my thing, but Vylet fucking nailed it. And for a while I was really addicted to the song. I still kind of am, but a bit less.
I've been realized and think I might lose it. Afraid it doesn't matter, no, it just won't help. I've been crying all alone in a feather-bound hell. For a second I would lay it all beside my victim of protagonist syndrome.
The 10th track, Asymmetrica, is likely one of Vylet's darkest and most emotional songs she's ever written, and the lyrics prove that. The lyrics are bold and aggressive. Genius, she says that we all have things we would say but never say them. So in Asymmetrica, she does say them. I think the power of Vylet's vocals is peaked in the song. It's filled with rage, pain, and hatred. It's overall just an incredibly impactful number, which I appreciate a lot. The second chorus is a little less impactful for me, but that doesn't discern the fact that it's a heavy song. The ending includes voice snippets, recordings of which Vylet's traumatic memories were formed the most, but here she wanted to remember the times in a better light.
Fucking better than you, so shut the fuck up. If you I'm gonna let you
Very aggressive, but I like the song quite a bit. Really good job there. Non-existent Meet Cute, also called I Don't Love You Anymore, is, if I had to choose, my number one pick from this project. Vocals are beautiful, at parts also very powerful. The punk, hyperpop fusion in the choruses are fucking amazing, and everything simply clicks with me so fucking well. The uplifting melodies in contrast with the aggressive lyrics, it's just something I always like hearing for some reason. I think Non-Existent Meet Cute becomes a lot more personal and a bit less aggressive in the second half, but it's still a breathtaking and catchy payoff. The song tells the story from the perspective of Spike as an adult, who's also non-binary, and talks about how Rarity has continually led them on, and when they started to move on, Rarity got jealous. In the song, Spike tells Rarity every thought they have about her in their mind just because they've had enough. It's just a fucking amazing song, and I still listen to it very actively to this day.
You're a diamond in the rough, but I was taking so long. I gave my soul up. I never really considered existing. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. I don't really care who you're fucking anymore. I know you dream of walking out the fucking door. All you do is talk. Those pretty eyes.
Titchiphobia, I hope that I pronounced that right, is a bouncy, catchy, old-school dubstep number. The vocals are told from the perspective of Scootaloo, and the imagery of Scootaloo carving a path for herself through her disability and traumas is expressed in a defiant, rebellious way in the song. In CUTIEMARKS, I wasn't a fan of the dubstep-ish drop, but I think the basses in the song have the perfect impact. They're fun, impactful, and the production is just really satisfying. Not to mention the D&B switch, which was transitioned excellently and which is just so good. The basses sound like they glitched out, but man, it still just works out so well. It's melodic, but still has a bit of an aggressive vibe. Harper is a song about a teacher of violets who has brought her out of her initial music background, which was pretty elitist and limited her music tastes significantly. When she was introduced to electronic music, she broke free from that mindset, luckily, and personally, that freeing feeling is portrayed wonderfully in the song. I think the drops again remind me a little of Porter Robinson, but this time the world's version of him. It's a beautiful song. Really beautiful, just really well made. 14th track, How to Kill a Monster, is a song I actually have been getting into very recently, which is actually kind of surprising. Because right now I'm like, how the fuck didn't I adore this song since the fucking start? The intro is beautiful in a way I cannot really explain. Plus the pristine sound design in the drops, the dark lyrics, Vylet's amazing vocals, and the absolutely breathtaking midsection, which just takes the cake from the rest of the song because just of how fleshed out it is. Absolutely in love with this song. I love the melody and sparkly sound design so damn much.
So you wanna know how to kill a monster? Well, it's really quite simple. Embrace the fucking serpent deep inside, and when it shows its head, just indulge it, acquiesce. Before you know it, somebody else will smash its head in.
This fucking midsection. Imitation Game is a pretty short but very sweet and fast-paced, delightful song. It's a Vent song. Vylet Pony has naturally related with the pony Trixie the most, which is also why that's one of the names she goes with. And in the writing of the song in particular, she is related to Trixie's social isolation and loneliness due to the way she is the most. It's a pretty simple song, but the glitchy piano and fast-paced drums make the song one you just close your eyes to and just get lost in. Honeymoon Phase, also called Limerence, I think, is likely to be one of my top picks as well. It's the counterpart of I Don't Need to Be Fixed. In case you want the full context and story to the songs, I'll show the descriptions of both songs right here. You can pause it and read so you know what the songs are about, because I couldn't explain it any better than Vylet herself can. I think the song as a whole is super forceful, the drops being a perfect payoff to the beautiful lyrics and vocals. Vocals are ridiculously good and show the whole range of Vylet's capabilities. The second drop includes the guitar you could hear in the midsection, and man, does it add. It manages to give me goosebumps nearly all the time. In the B section, Trixie's vocals are pushed to their fucking limits and my goosebumps are multiplied. The vocal performance in Honeymoon Phase are probably my favorite of this whole project. It's just fucking breathtaking stuff. Please give this a listen.
After ferrying an ocean to an isle of delight, overindulging in envy, water eroded by stone, a force as eccentric as yesterday.
So satisfying.
I've been flying a kite, learning how to love life once more. To know the catharsis of loving again reminds us of how much we've bled.
Guitar.
Oh, there's no happy ending.
You have to listen to the vocals here.
Happy ending. There's no happy ending. There's no happy ending.
And I have my goosebumps again, which I cannot show because I have sleeves. The 17th song is an indescribably beautiful song, and it is really fucking underrated. I don't listen to much ambient music, but something about this has just caught my attention. The song is a soundscape that sounded the way it did in Violet's head when she spent time around the Kalmar cemeteries. And man, is it a haunting, but also kind of a reassuring experience. I highly recommend you listen to it because for me, while listening to it, I found myself to just be at peace. And that's not easy for me. My head is fucking all over the place for most of the time, but listening to City of the Silent, I did nothing but enjoy the sounds this piece had to offer. Seabound, or Penderosa Seed, or these are the coordinates to the exact location where Vylet almost committed suicide. They're also a place in which she has made a lot of memories, like make friends, have her first kiss, having her first time trying bubble tea or winning a crane prize. It's filled with restaurants where she ate with friends and cultivated relationships. It's where the sing-a-song about life sample, which was recorded, which is a leitmotif that is played throughout the whole project. The song analyzes her relationship with her best friend Izzy by considering the importance of this location and relevance to their friendship, as well as how falling in love with MLP would unwittingly change the course of her entire life. This piece consists of a guitar melody, vocals, harmonies. It's a simple song from an objective standpoint, but the feelings, the pain, the memories, the emotional aspect of the song is simply unimaginable, incomprehensible, inconceivable. Which is why all I can say is that it's a breathtaking song and truly one of a kind. An artist being this vulnerable and open in music is pretty rare. And I would be lying if I said that I did not shed a tear while listening to the song for the first time. The last song, The Kid Who Kept Running, perfect closer to this album to round it all off. The text is from the perspective of Scootaloo writing to the CUTIEMARKS Crusaders after they've split up. This tune feels very freeing and really is a great way to top the album off. The upbeat drops, the finished lyrics, but with an open-ended touch, it's just really great. So there we have it. If it wasn't already obvious, this is without question one of my favorite albums of all time. Every song has something unique and beautiful to it, and while I may not have big on around 3 songs, the versatility put on show overall is unbelievable and simply impressive. More than half of this album is above a 9 out of 10, and around 6 songs in this project are, for me, even a complete fucking 10 out of 10. I have been aware of Violet's music even before I was in the whole EDM scene properly. As far as I know, the first song I found by her was My Past Is Not Today, And that's also a fucking good song. But it's a shame that I didn't start following her music actively since then, because there's a lot of music I have to catch up on. She makes a lot of music, and she has another album that's upcoming. And how the fuck do you make this fucking amazing music that fast? There's a lot to catch up on. I haven't listened to much else of Vylet's music apart from CUTIEMARKS and that song. But if it has the same quality as CUTIEMARKS, then boy am I in for a ride. As someone who is not really a brony anymore, I had a very short phase. This was so impressive. And even if you're not a brony, even if you're not even a furry, even if you're not into any of these scenes, give this a listen. I think everyone can get something awesome out of this. There's everything. The versatility is incredible. I really recommend this album to you. So yeah, those were my thoughts on CUTIEMARKS and the Things That Bind Us by Vylet Pony. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like this. Thank you for watching. I don't have much else to say, so see ya. Also, my fucking dark as fuck, which is why I'm also dark this whole video. I have to use this light. Ain't that awesome?